Tommy, I didn't know you were all out here. I would have come out earlier. I was kind of standing around out there.
It's okay, we ordered drinks now.
As I told the players just now, you never judge a team by one game, whether good or bad. Whether you played a good game or your bad game, you never judge a team by one game. You never judge an import by the first game they play. We're still adjusting together. We did some really positive things out there. We moved the ball well. We had 14 assists in the first half. I thought our first half was much better than our second half. Justin got a little tired. That's his first game since his surgery, so he played. I probably overplayed him. I shouldn't have played him that many minutes. But as you can hear in the locker room, there's a lot of laughing and going on. So that's what we want that, because we want to be able to celebrate when we do well. But we didn't come into this game really worried about whether winning or losing. And like I said, everybody else is going to worry about that. But we're just going to come out and see if we can, number one, defend, and number two, move the ball. And so those two things I thought we did pretty well. I thought Junmar and Anj got to get a little better defensively in terms of what we want them to do. They were allowing the ball to get into the post too often. Most teams don't post up as much as they did, but they posted up a lot. And but aside from that, I thought we were quick defensively, we were reactive defensively, and those things will show. So honestly, in my book, we played better than I thought we would. So, but that's a little scary, because that again, you don't judge it by one game. But the key is that I think that, and this is what was important about this game, was that the players got a little belief with each other. They're starting to believe a little bit in each other. Maybe we can do something. Those four guys had 3 days to practice, and they looked like a team out there. So I really appreciate that. Again, they're moving the ball and getting each other open, and of course, we have a great closer in Justin. So. Trying to think of the term. What's the term again? When you're, can't remember. But when you play cards and you have Código. There we go. He's like our Código. We can always rely on him. So anyway, he's we can always go to him. He's our closer, and we need buckets down the steps, so we know we can get to him.
Coach, any update on the final 12? The latest.
Not really. Obviously the four were here. Except for I think Calvin couldn't make it tonight because there's something wrong with his kids. He had a problem with his kids. Calvin's got lots of kids. So, and so the other three came here. We really appreciate they came here, sat in the crowd, they came to the locker room. So I thought that was really cool that they would be here. And so is there no hope for them? They're breathing. That's about all you can say. They're breathing at this point. They're still alive, and they're not jumping around and being happy, but they're still breathing. So we're told they're still working on it, and we'll have a definitive time by the 24th. But by and large, we got our 12 right now. That's who we're going to continue to practice with. If those four came in suddenly, would we take them? That's a decision we'd have to make. I think it's likely that we would. Because they actually were longer with us than the new guys, and again they balance out the lineup in terms of size. But I thought Arvin played well tonight. Guys that played. I thought CJ was awesome. So guys that stepped in, they didn't seem to need that much time. You want to talk to anybody else?
Tim, nice win. So you said, I know that Bambol is still working on the floor, but...
You know more than I do. That's for sure. I'm hearing all my information from you, so...
So, but are you going to travel with these four, and then, what are you
I don't think that's really been determined. We were supposed to leave tomorrow, and we delayed for a day so we could have one more practice before we go after this game. So we're going to practice tomorrow, and then leave on Sunday. And that is the 24th.
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe we'll have information. I don't know. by that time.
So super big morale boost to win tonight, at least to get a feel of a win.
Yeah, I think that's fair, but it's dangerous to say that altogether. I mean, it was a morale booster just in terms of we feel like we know we can play with each other. They're not a Korean national team. They're not a Chinese national team. They're not Jordan. But they are a good team. They got a couple imports, and the imports were really good, and we had to battle them. And they shoot the ball really well, just like any other Korean team. This is I believe, the runner-up to the Korean League last year. So it's a tough team. So again, 3 days of practice, we'll take it for now. We got to get better. We know we got to get better. At least we have some belief at this point.
We have CJ Perez coming in as a last-minute inclusion in the team. Can you provide the energy?
Well, see, like I said earlier, CJ was awesome. He stepped in right away and impacted us on both sides of the floor, defensively and offensively. So, he's got that ability, and he can take over games at a certain time. Maybe when Justin needs a break or needs a rest, we can go to CJ because he's such a great, one-on-one player, and he can get buckets when he needs to. He's tough to stop. He missed a couple of gimmies at the rim at the end of the game, but you'll take those because most of the time those are going to go in. So, and he's got a natural feel for what we're doing. Him and Calvin Aftana have a natural feel for, I may say, the triangle and what we're running. They have a natural feel. Calvin reminds me a lot of Kenneth Duremdes in the old days. Kenneth, when we traded for Kenneth in the old days, he stepped in and he was like great from day one. He ended up winning the MVP the year we traded for him. So Calvin has that same kind of feel. He just stepped in, he has a real good feel for it. And I think CJ, with more time, will also have the same. He doesn't have as much time as Calvin does, but I think he'll have that same feel also. It's, and the regulars, the usual suspects were great. Scotty was great. Justin was great. Jumar, aside from his foul trouble, was great. I mean, just nice to be able to have that weapon down low to go to Jumar whenever we need it. We don't need to go to it all the time, but whenever we need it, he's there. So I think the fun thing about all this is that everybody's enjoying, learning and running the offense that we have. They like it. It's fun. Everybody's involved. The key is our defense. Since the new guys have come together, on the 4 new guys, we haven't worked one moment on defense. So we can feel we can get a lot better on defense as the tournament goes on.
Thank you.